Are you tired of learning the rules of the tenses time and again, but you're still making the same grammatical errors whenever you're writing or when you are speaking? Worry no more, because now I'm starting with a series which will cover all the tenses. Today we are going to start with present tense. At the end of the video, I will give you an exercise, and when you will send me the response of that exercise, I will also send you the correction of the same. But before attempting that exercise, please make sure to watch the video till the end so that you're able to understand the concepts better. So we all know that present tense or any tense is of four types: simple, continuous, perfect and perfect continuous. So we know that there are these four categories, and it is not very tough to remember the rules, but what is actually difficult is to understand the application. First of all, we'll start with the simple present tense. Well, simple present tense is having a very simple rule, and that is subject plus verb's first form, SES plus object. Now see, subject is clear that we are using the noun, then verb first form, then the first form of the verb, that is also very clear that we will be using the first form of the verb. But what is this SES? Now this SES is altogether a different rule of grammar that we need to understand in detail before proceeding further. This SES is known as the subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement is an agreement that exists between the subject, that means the doer, and the work that is being done, that means the verb. So these two things are having an agreement that if one is single, the other will also remain single. So we can say that subject and verb are like the best friends. So if one best friend is single, then it is compulsory for the other best friend also to stay single. And if the other one is plural, then the first one will also be plural. So this is what is your subject verb agreement. Now see, when we were in school, we all studied that the plural of man is men, the plural of boy is boys, the plural of girl is girls. But what is the plural of place? Well, place in itself is plural. When we are making the plurals of subjects, that means the nouns, we add s or es. But when we are making the plurals of the verbs, we remove s or es. Now I will write down some verbs on the board. Tell me if these verbs are singular or plural. Play. Plural. Why? Because there is no s or es. Sings. Sings is singular because it is having s. Then dance, once again plural because no s or es. So now the rule says that if I am having a singular verb, then my subject will also be singular. For example, he sings, they play, I dance. Why I dance? Because I and you are treated as plural in English. So the rule for the simple present tense is subject plus verb first form, SES, that means in accordance to the subject verb agreement, plus the object. So this is the rule for simple present tense. Now let us move towards the usage. Be very careful while understanding the usage, because if you understand the usage, then you will never make any mistake while writing anything. The first one is whenever we are talking about a habitual action. If there is something that happens every day, then for that we use simple present tense. For example, if I say I wake up at 6 a.m. that means that I wake up at 6 a.m. every day. This is a routine that I have. But if it is not a routine and I'm talking about a particular day, then I would either say that I woke up at 6 a.m. yesterday, or if it is in the future, then I would say that I will wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I eat food. I eat food means that I eat food every day. This is a habit that I have. So here we are using simple present tense. So the first situation was that whenever there is a habitual action, we will use simple present tense. Then the second category is of general truths. General truths are the universal facts. For example, the sun rises in the east. Now what we are doing, we are using the simple present tense. How? The sun rises in the east. General truths are the universal facts. For example, the sun rises in the east. Now, what is the sun? Sun is your subject, rises is your verb, first form, and then this is your object. Now, tell me one thing in the comment section, why it is the sun. Then comes the last thing for which we use simple present tense, and that is to describe a future event of a fixed timetable. Now I know this might sound confusing that we are learning present tense, but we are saying it is used for future. Let us say if we go to a railway station and we go to the ticket counter and we ask that when does the train leave. So what will the person say? The person will say that the train leaves at 3 p.m. So it means that the train departs at 3 p.m. every day. It is supposed to happen in the future, but it is a fixed time schedule. It is meant to happen at that particular time only. So that is why it is said that the train leaves at 3 p.m. So I hope this one is clear. Also drop your sentence for this situation in the comment section below and I'm going to correct it. Now let us move forward to the next tense, that is present continuous tense. Well, present continuous tense is actually simpler than the simple present tense because here we don't have to think about the S and ES. Here the only thing that we need to take care about is, am, are. So the rule is subject plus is, am, are plus verbs first form plus ing plus object. Now if it is singular, we'll use is. If it is plural, we'll use are. And if we are talking about I, then we will use am. So with I, it will always be am. Singulars is, plural are. You let me know in the comment section, what do we use with you? Is or are? In general, when do we use a present continuous tense? Whenever we are talking about continuous tense of any category, it is used to refer to the situations when something is going on in a continuity. That means it is continuing. The work is continuing at the moment. So if I talk specifically about the present continuous tense, then there are three main situations in which we use a present continuous tense. The first one is that if there is something that is going on in continuity at the time of speaking. For example, if you are watching this video right now and there is a dog that is continuously barking, then what tense you'll use? You'll use present continuous tense and you will say the dog is continuously barking. So that means the dog is barking right now. So this is the first situation. Then the next comes general continuity. Now what do I mean by general continuity? For example, if I ask you, what are you watching these days? Then you will say that I am watching the series Friends. Then the last one comes about the actions which are arranged to take place in the future. I know once again there will be a confusion that we are studying the present tense but we are talking about the future. How? This is something you must have observed even in your daily routine. If there is a relative of yours who is supposed to visit your place, then what will you say to your friend? My cousin's sister is coming to visit me tomorrow. So she is going to come tomorrow, but which tense you are using? You're using present continuous tense. So if something is supposed to happen in the future and it has already been scheduled, then we will use present continuous tense. I hope all the three types are clear. Now moving further to the next tense, and that is the present perfect tense. Now why we say it to be perfect? Because this work has been completed. So present perfect tense is used when we have to talk about an action that has just completed. For example, I have just finished my work. That means that it is just at this particular instance that I have completed my work. Okay, and then the second sentence that I said, that was I have completed my work. So it means that in the past I was working, but now I have completed it and I am free. So even in this situation, it means that the work has been done. Now why we are not using past tense in it? Because if I'm saying it in the past tense, then that will mean that I am referring to the past time, that I had completed my work. So it is referring to the past times when we completed the work, but we are talking about the completion of that work in the present. So the rule is also very simple. Subject plus has have, verbs third form plus object. Now has is used with singular and have is used with plural. So this one was our present perfect tense. And now after present perfect tense, we are having the last tense, and that is present perfect continuous tense. Now for that, I want you to understand a very simple thing, that whenever there will be a reference of time with the continuous tense, then that will be your present perfect continuous tense. I don't want you to learn so many rules for present perfect continuous, because that is just going to confuse you. Just remember that if there is something that is going on in continuity, that means it is in continuous tense, but along with that there is also a reference of time, then that will become your present perfect continuous tense. For example, he has been sleeping for 4 hours. Now this means that he has been sleeping for 4 hours in continuity. That this is an action that has been going on in continuity, but with that we are also having a reference of time. So this was your present perfect continuous tense. With this, we are finally done with the present tense, and in the upcoming videos we are going to cover the past and the future tense. I hope it was clear, and if you are having any doubts, feel free to ask me in the comment section, and I promise that I will reply to your queries. I'm also attaching a quiz for you. Try to attempt it and you will for sure receive a correction of the same as well. And if you found this useful, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and please hit the like button. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye bye.